I was attacked by a mysterious creature, and I have proof. Last weekend, my wife and I went up into Sequoia for a quick camping trip. We got a great spot by the river and lodgepole, and the sound of the rushing water was a great stress reliever. When we checked in, the ranger warned us that there had been a couple of bear sightings that morning, and that one in particular they had not been able to tag. My wife and I were giddy as we love seeing wildlife up close, and black bears generally don't attack people. They told us the bears usually hang out by the river right before dawn, around 4 a.m. That night we set our alarm and were determined to take a nice picture of the bears by the river. From a distance, of course, we didn't want to disturb them. The rushing river sounds put us right to sleep. At 2:30 a.m., a loud cracking sound woke me up. I rushed up against the tent's mesh window and squinted my eyes into the sheer darkness. I could barely hear a low groaning sound and maybe breathing, but it was hard to tell because of the constant sound of water. If a bear was in the campsite, I wasn't about to go confront it in pitch black or try to scare it with a flashlight. I tried my hardest to go back to sleep and hoped the bears would migrate down to the river in the next couple of hours for the shot. To my surprise, the alarm woke me up. I had been able to fall asleep. I woke my wife up and we both peered out to the hazy, foggy morning wilderness. I whispered to her what had happened earlier, and that excited her further. We quickly got dressed and walked out of the tent. As we headed towards the river, we noticed our canopy had been torn down and crushed. Assuming the bears must have done the damage, we followed the tracks away from the river into a patch of dense trees. I guess the bears weren't thirsty that morning. The bear tracks were unlike anything we've seen before. They were a bit human-looking. We joked that it must have been Bigfoot or something. But obviously it had to have been bears. No other creature could tear down the canopy like that. We walked maybe a quarter mile before I heard the familiar groaning sounds. They were much clearer now since the river was far behind us. I grabbed my camera and zoomed in to where I thought the sound was coming from. I zoomed as much as I could with the lens and zoomed in on the viewfinder to see if I could see anything. Suddenly, something moved. Like a big ball of fur with long muscular arms, maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. I couldn't make out a face. Maybe the bear was standing up on its hind legs away from us. But the figure was slowly coming towards us. I took a picture, and the shutter sound made the creature go onto all fours and run towards us. Needless to say, we booked it out of there. I could hear the groaning getting close as the sound of the river also got closer. My wife and I got to the campsite, breathless and scared. It was 4:30 now, so no other campers were up. We got into the car and drove straight to the visitor center. While my wife drove, I checked the picture in the camera to see if I captured it. I had no idea what the hell this thing was. We waited in the car, petrified, until the center opened up at 9 and went in and showed the staff the picture. One of them took us to a back room and showed us some drawings. The drawings were from a group of researchers in the 70s, tracking local wildlife. It was uncanny. Whatever we captured on camera looked exactly the same as the sketches. The ranger then advised us not to share this picture online, as it may only cause trouble for the park, and that he had seen 2 other pictures of the creature before. He said ours was the clearest, so we just had to share it.